Hey there, welcome back to Stick It Real, where we keep things simple, real, and all about helping you feel your best in 2025. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that tight knot in your stomach, your heart racing, or your mind spinning with worry, and you just couldn't shake it? I've been there more times than I can count. Just a few weeks ago, I had a big presentation at work, and the night before, I was lying in bed, wide awake, imagining every possible thing that could go wrong. I kept thinking, what if I forget what to say? What if they don't like it? My anxiety was through the roof, and I felt completely powerless to stop it. But here's the thing. What if I told you that overcoming anxiety is actually way simpler than you think? I know it sounds almost too good to be true, but stick with me, because I've found a super simple way to calm my mind and feel more in control, even in those high-stress moments. In this video, I'm going to share my 3-step calm within reach framework that makes managing anxiety feel doable, whether you're dealing with work stress, social situations, or just everyday worries. We'll go through the 3 steps together. I'll tell you how this framework helped me ace that presentation I was so nervous about, and I'll share a few extra tips to keep anxiety at bay long term. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to overcome anxiety whenever it creeps in. Because you've got this. So, let's dive in and make anxiety something you can totally handle. Before we get into the solution, let's talk about why anxiety feels so overwhelming for so many of us. Have you ever noticed how anxiety can make even small things feel like huge, impossible challenges? That was me the night before my presentation. I knew it wasn't the end of the world, but my mind made it feel like it was. I'd start worrying about one thing, and then it would spiral into a million other worries. What if I mess up? What if my boss is disappointed? What if I lose my job? It's like my brain was on a loop of worst-case scenarios, and I couldn't stop it. For a lot of us, anxiety feels like this unstoppable force that takes over our thoughts and leaves us feeling stuck, stressed, and exhausted. Part of the problem is that we often try to fight anxiety head-on, which can make it worse. I used to tell myself, just stop worrying, but that never worked. It actually made me feel more anxious because I couldn't control it. I'd think, why can't I just be calm like everyone else? And that self-judgment only added to the stress. It made me feel like I was broken or weak, which isn't true at all. Anxiety is a normal human experience, but it doesn't have to control your life. Once I realized that overcoming anxiety isn't about forcing it away, it's about learning simple tools to manage it, I started to see it differently. That's where the Calm Within Reach framework comes in. It's a simple, 3-step approach that helps you take back control without the overwhelm. Let's break it down together. Step 1. Name it to tame it. All right, let's get into the first step of the Calm Within Reach framework. Name it to tame it. This step is all about acknowledging your anxiety instead of trying to ignore it, which helps take away some of its power. Here's how it works. When you feel anxiety creeping in, pause and say to yourself, I'm feeling anxious right now, and that's okay. You can even name what's causing it, like, I'm anxious about this presentation because I want to do well. It sounds simple, but naming your anxiety helps you step back from it and see it for what it is, just a feeling, not a fact. It's like shining a light on a shadow. Once you see it clearly, it's not as scary. I tried this the night before my presentation. Instead of spiraling into worry, I said out loud, I'm feeling anxious about tomorrow, and that's normal. Then I named the root of it. I'm anxious because I care about doing a good job. Just saying it out loud made me feel a little lighter, like I wasn't fighting myself anymore. You can do this anytime anxiety shows up, before a social event, during a tough conversation, or even when you're lying in bed at night. It's such a small step, but it helps you feel more in control and less like anxiety is controlling you. So that's step 1. Name it to tame it, and you'll start to feel calmer right away. Step 2. Breathe to release. Now that you've acknowledged your anxiety, let's move on to step 2. Breathe to release. This step is all about using your breath to calm your body and mind, which is one of the fastest ways to reduce anxiety. Here's the technique. When you feel anxious, take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do this 3 times, and focus on the feeling of the air filling your lungs and leaving your body. This kind of breathing activates your body's relaxation response, which helps lower your heart rate and ease tension. I used this technique right before my presentation. I was standing backstage, my hands were shaking, and I could feel my anxiety spiking. So I closed my eyes, took 3 slow breaths, for seconds in, hold for 4, out for 6. And with each exhale, I imagined releasing a little bit of my worry. By the third breath, I felt noticeably calmer, and my hands stopped shaking. You can do this anywhere, sitting at your desk, in your car, or even in the middle of a meeting. It's a quick, discreet way to reset your nervous system. So, step 2 is to breathe to release, and you'll be amazed at how much calmer you feel. Step 3. Focus on what you can control. All right, we're on to the third step of the Calm Within Reach framework. Focus on what you can control. This step is all about shifting your attention away from the things you can't change and onto the small actions you can take right now. Anxiety often comes from worrying about the future or things outside our control, like what other people think or how a situation might turn out. But when you focus on what you can control, like your actions, your attitude, or your next step, it helps you feel more grounded and less overwhelmed. For my presentation, I realized I couldn't control how my audience would react, but I could control how prepared I was. So, instead of worrying about what might go wrong, I focused on practicing my opening lines and making sure my slides were ready. I also reminded myself that I could control my attitude. I chose to see the presentation as a chance to share something I cared about, not as a test I had to pass. This shift made a huge difference. I felt more empowered and less like a victim of my anxiety. You can apply this to any situation. Focus on what you can do, even if it's small, like taking a walk, talking to a friend, or just doing your best. So, that's step 3. Focus on what you can control, and you'll find that anxiety starts to lose its grip. Let me tell you how the Calm Within Reach framework completely changed my experience with that presentation. Like I said the night before, I was a mess, lying in bed, imagining every possible disaster. But I decided to try this 3-step method and see what happened. Step 1. I named my anxiety. I said out loud, I'm anxious about tomorrow, and that's okay. I care about doing well, and that's normal. Just acknowledging it helped me feel a little less alone with my worries. Step 2. I breathed to release. I did 3 rounds of the 4-4-6 breathing, and with each exhale, I felt my body relax a bit more. The next day, right before the presentation, my anxiety spiked again, but I used step 3. I focused on what I could control. I practiced my opening lines, double-checked my slides, and reminded myself that I was prepared. When I stepped on stage, I wasn't anxiety-free, but I felt in control. I gave the presentation, and guess what? It went great. My boss even complimented me afterward. More importantly, I realized that anxiety didn't have to stop me from doing my best. The Calm Within Reach framework made overcoming anxiety feel simple. I didn't have to be fearless, I just had to take small, manageable steps. I know this can work for you too, whether you're dealing with work stress, social anxiety, or just everyday worries. Before we wrap up, I want to share a few quick tips to make the Calm Within Reach framework stick for you. First, practice naming your anxiety in low-stakes situations, like when you're stuck in traffic or waiting in line, so it becomes a habit. Second, keep a breathing reminder on your phone or desk. Something as simple as a sticky note that says breathe can help you remember to use the technique when you need it. And finally, make a list of things you can control in situations that typically make you anxious. It could be your preparation, your mindset, or even just showing up. Oh, and one more thing, be kind to yourself. Overcoming anxiety is a journey, and it's okay to have setbacks. The more you practice these steps, the easier it'll get. So, there you have it. Overcoming anxiety really is surprisingly simple, thanks to the 3-step Calm Within Reach framework. To recap, name it to tame it, breathe to release, and focus on what you can control. You've got everything you need to manage anxiety whenever it shows up, and I'm so excited for you to try this out. I'd love to hear how it goes, so let me know in the comments. What's one situation where you'll use this framework? Share your wins with me. I can't wait to cheer you on. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss more tips to make 2025 your best year yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's keep it real with Stick It Real.